Hello there. Today I got caught up watching Scavengers Reign and now I can't think about anything else. It's just that good of a show. I want to recommend it without even seeing the finale. The show I've watched so far is incredibly gripping sci-fi horror, and the way they tell their story is both beautiful and haunting. It's like Studio Ghibli meets Alien. So, just to get everyone caught up on what I'm talking about, Scavengers Reign is a sci-fi horror cartoon on HBO Max. The premise is that a colony ship is traveling to a new world when an outburst from a nearby planet knocks it off course, sending it adrift. Most of the ship's passengers were in cryostasis at the time of the accident, but a few managed to make it to the escape pods and land on the nearby planet. The show consists of 25-minute episodes that follow 3 different groups of survivors from the colony ship Demeter. The first group consists of a man named Sam and a woman named Ursula. The two of them look like experienced survivors and are attempting to make contact with their ship via a jerry-rigged communications array. They manage the task and see the Demeter make a crash landing on the surface. The two of them rush off to save the survivors and end up going through a harrowing journey along the way. The second storyline follows a woman named Ozzy and her personal support robot, Levi. The two have been surviving in the desert in a makeshift camp, but they're starting to run out of supplies. When they see the Demeter come crashing down, they start heading toward the landing site, hoping to save a friend of Ozzy's. Along the way, Ozzy discovers that an organism has infected Levi and caused it to start becoming sentient. The two bond while making their way across the wasteland, discovering the majestic nature of the world while fighting off its creatures. The final story follows a lonely man named Cayman. He's stuck inside his pod, suspended hundreds of feet off the ground, when a mysterious sloth-like animal rips the door off with its mind and saves him. The creature forms a symbiotic bond with him, using telepathy to convince him that it is his ex-lover. The creature protects him from the planet's natural dangers and in return asks him to hunt for it. As the two become more successful, the bond between them becomes more morbid and dangerous. Alright, so now that we're all caught up on what we're talking about, here's why I think you should watch it. Scavengers Reign has a mixture of dark and light in it that is hard to find anywhere else. The story is about people surviving the harshest conditions imaginable on a planet that makes Australia look like a children's petting zoo. The animals there are not only monstrous, they work in mysterious ways and are often downright horrifying in how they kill and devour their prey. This show takes the concept of nature being metal and amplifies it by 1,000. Each of the bigger animals on the planet is like an eldritch horror, and each storyline has its fair share of them. The world they live in is somehow even more dangerous and beautiful. It's filled with sandstorms that send crystal shards tearing into your flesh. There are giant man-eating plants everywhere, and half of the herbivores spit dangerous toxins or acidic clouds of gas when threatened. It's also filled with fields of grass that you want to run in, giant canyons with oddly colored, weirdly shaped rocks, animals that are majestic and beautiful to watch in motion, and sights that will make you gasp in awe. The soundtrack makes it feel even more special as you watch these people traverse the different biomes. They use violin, piano, and harps with an echo to create these lonely, melancholic tracks that are bitter and sweet at the same time. They also use the soundtrack to build up tension during conflicts, and each time it has an incredible impact. They mix extreme pitches with short sounds and the ambient noise of the planet, and it grabs hold of your heart and your chest and squeezes. On the human side of things, the way they survive is inspiring. They turn the world and the way it works into more and more advantages and show off nearly unbreakable survival spirits. Each storyline is filled with tragedy, but also hope for the future. Hope that they'll get away from this horrid place, and hope that they may yet save a few of the people on the ship. The show creates a journey that is easy to invest in. That same journey will drag you along on a roller coaster of emotions so twisted that you'll be exhausted by the end of each episode. You're terrified for the characters, but also desperate to see how this journey ends. Will there be any survivors by the time they get there? What the hell is that sloth monster? And what is it doing to Cayman? Each episode introduces more mystery and new puzzle pieces while tying up a few of the old loose threads. The individual pieces are incredibly satisfying when they click into place, too. The 3 different storylines all have their own horrifying situations to deal with, and each of the characters shows a unique and interesting personality. Sam is a hot-headed, strong man who tries to protect others. Ursula is a calm person who can protect herself, but struggles with being lonely. Ozzy is a survivor learning to accept the world around her. And Cayman is a broken man trying to find some peace. The show as a whole is absolutely terrifying, but also filled with so much beauty from both the world and the stories that it is easy to get lost in it. The mixture of the two extreme emotions creates a wonderful blend that's both heartbreaking and inspiring. All that said, there are a couple of reasons you might want to avoid it, and to be fair, I think I should mention them here too. The show is filled with gore and horror elements that are downright disgusting and incredibly hard to stomach. More than a few times, I felt like vomiting while watching the animals of this planet devour others, and some of the things they do to the human victims are just bone-chilling. The other downside to the show is that it's very heavy emotionally. If you don't like dark atmospheres with lots of tragedy, then this show isn't going to be fun for you. It's not gentle with its characters, and you do often feel like none of them will make it. The things they experience and the shots of what's happening on the ship are truly disturbing. To close things off, I want to reiterate how much I enjoyed Scavengers Reign so far. The writing is fantastic, and full of mystery, emotion, wonder, and horror. The characters are well written, are easy to get invested in, and they're all unique. The art style is good at showing off the beauty of the planet and the disgusting nature of the wildlife, and the soundtrack brings a level of emotion and atmosphere that is nearly unmatched. If any of that sounds appealing to you, I suggest you check this show out soon. The last 3 episodes of this season are set to drop sometime next week, and I can't wait to see how it ends. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me ramble about my favorite new show, and let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Bye-bye!